So we are going to record it, but you guys know there's nothing like getting on a live call. That's the first thing everyone watching the recording is going to hear me say. There's nothing like getting on a live call, but it's so true. There's just something about it that is just different than watching a recording. So give yourselves a pat on the back, say good job, way to get on. I didn't see any of you do that. But wait, there you go. Thank you. But way to get on this Monday night call. I know it takes time away from things. I know you have to carve out this hour or so of your life to dedicate to be on these. But it's so great for first of all, it's great for us. Honestly, I'm just going to speak selfishly for a minute. It's really good for us to see you guys. And I say us, it's really good for all of us to see each other, I guess is what I'm trying to say, the community. So that's a huge benefit to these calls. But beyond that, the training that we've been getting has been incredible. So we are done with the Brittany Howard podcast, or at least we're done with it for now. We may reference back to it a little bit later because she does have some more. But we are moving out of that for now. And tonight we are going to hear, did you guys like how I introduced her on our Facebook page? Our 3-star diamond. Ooh, everybody go, ooh. Okay, our 3-star diamond, Jana Hooten. I'm super excited. Go ahead, keep sending those text messages, those reminders for people. And do me another favor. If you've gotten your iPad, if you have secured that iPad, let's see it in the comments. Put it in the chat. Say, yes, I got my iPad. That is so exciting. I've been seeing all of the graphics on our team page, and I think that is just so exciting. So anyways, I'm going to hand this time now over to Jana, and then we will do our drawing for the tracker and our drawing for the random winner at the end of the call.
All right. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm so excited. I feel like I haven't seen y'all in forever because I've been gone what feels like for forever. It's been a crazy month for me. But I just want to thank you guys, first of all, just for being here tonight. And I want to acknowledge, I know it's a hard day just in our country. I know the news that happened earlier today. And so I just want to acknowledge that, and just, I know we have some Tennessee teams. So I just want to, let you know our hearts and our prayers are with you. And I just want to make sure I acknowledge that and know that we are, I'm just so saddened by it. I had to turn the news off today. I know some of you had to do the same. I know it's just so difficult to watch. But I just want to thank you guys for being on tonight. I am really excited about what we are going to talk about tonight, what I have to share. So a little bit of a backstory here. The end of February, I was invited to a Diamond Mastermind event, summit, I think is what they called it, in Phoenix. It was about, I think there was around 25 or 30 diamonds invited. And we got to go to Phoenix for a few days and just be together. They spoiled us as usual, put us up in a nice hotel, or a nice resort, I guess I should say. And then the highlight of the trip was that Friday of the weekend, they brought in Dr. Henry Cloud. So Dr. Henry Cloud is a renowned psychologist, author. I mean, he is just phenomenal. I liked him before, but after literally spending a whole day, just a room of about 30 of us, and him training us for a full day. He trained all one morning. We broke for lunch, and I honestly kind of thought it was over at that point. I thought we were going back and doing something different, but no, he came back in and trained us some more. So he was phenomenal. I know a lot of you have read I think probably his most popular book is the book Boundaries, but he has a ton of books. And so it was just an amazing day. It was so much to take in. I went back, I literally have 20 pages of notes from the event. I could not write fast enough. And it was just a phenomenal day. Well, a lot of you know my trip quickly turned sour when my husband, who was with me at the time, his appendix ruptured while we were in Phoenix, ended up in the ER on the day we were supposed to be flying home, emergency surgery that night, and stayed in Phoenix for over a week, and in the hospital, came home, thought we were doing better. ended up back in the hospital here in Dallas for another surgery due to infection. And it has just been a crazy month. So I just say all that to say I wanted to talk about this event. I wanted to do some trainings on some of the topics that he trained us on. And I just haven't had the opportunity to do so. So I ended up getting real sick last week. I think I just got drained. You know how like when you just go through something like that and you're just the caregiver and it's just so much, you just get drained. And so I think my immune system finally in my body was just like enough. And so I ended up sick last week, but today has been so productive. And honestly, I've spent some time today looking through my back office and you guys are rocking this month. Give yourself a hand. Like literally, some of y'all are really rocking this month. I was so excited when I was going through reports and looking through my back office. It was amazing. What a great month it's been so far. I'm excited to see. I mean, we've got till Friday. So, right? Friday the 31st, I think so. So how awesome. Like you guys got plenty of time to win that iPad if you want to earn that iPad. And plenty of time to get those points up. And we're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to talk about the topic. It sounds so simple, but it is the topic of how to get from here to there. That's what we're going to talk about. So some of you may have already seen some other diamonds talk about this and you've heard their take on it. We're going to say a lot of the same things because literally a lot of what I have to say is directly from Dr. Cloud himself. I did listen to a few other diamonds over the last few days because it has been a month since I've heard him present this and a lot of life has happened in that month. So I wanted to refresh myself a little bit on the session that he did with this, but he did, I don't know, 3 or 4 sessions with us. And this was the one that I feel like stuck out to a lot of us, even though they were all fantastic. But, you know, so many of us, we want to know, how do I get from here to there in so many areas of our life, whether it be, you know, it can be anything in our life. How do I get from point A to point B? How do I do it? And so how anything that gets done. How does that happen? There's a process, there's a method to it, and we're going to talk about it tonight. So obviously, this can relate to anywhere in your life. It can relate to anything in your life that you want to see done, whether it's in a relationship or an action that you actually, you know, something to come to fruition that you want to see happen. So we're going to walk through that tonight. I encourage you to have some pen and paper handy, and I'm going to give you a lot. It's going to be a lot because this was one session that took a while. I was trying to think today how long this specific session was, and it was way more time than I want to keep you here tonight. So I'm going to give a lot in a short amount of time. You're probably going to want to go back and re-watch it. Again, this is not any of my information. This is directly from him, and I'm going to reteach it and maybe put a little bit more of a plexus spin on it and how this applies to your plexus business, because that's why we're here, right? You want to know how to get from gold to senior gold, or you want to know how to get from emerald to sapphire. So that's why we're here. So we're going to figure out, how do we get from here to there? So the first thing that we have to do when we are talking about that is we have to define what is here. All right, you have to define it. To define that, you have to have some self-awareness. He said you can't get found until you find where you're lost. So to go back to that definition of here, I think that is, we have to say, where am I? And sometimes we're in denial about where we are. We're a little bit maybe blinded to where we are. Again, this can apply to anywhere in your life. But for me to figure out where am I, where is here, I have to define where I am. And before you can take the next step in your business, you have to take that time. Maybe tonight, once this call's over, the first thing you need to do is have some self-awareness and define here. Where am I right now? Where am I right now? Not where I was in the past, but where am I right now? What is here? And then we're going to talk about how we get to there. So one of the examples that he used in defining here was, he said, when a Navy SEAL is first dropped into an enemy location, the very first thing they have to do, the first thing, they are dropped somewhere, the first thing they have to do is to identify their location. All right. They have to ask themselves, where am I? The second thing they have to do is ask themselves, where's the enemy? And then the third thing they have to do is ask, where's my buddy? So I think that applies in our business a lot when we are trying to figure out how to get from here to there. And we're going to talk about that tonight. So we've defined here, let's define there. All right. That's our end goal. All right. There is just something that doesn't exist today, right? It's something that you are not, it does not exist today. You are not senior gold today. You are not ruby today. You are not a diamond today, right? So that is there. So that's how you define there. I want to tell you though, you won't ever be there. And anything else I have to say tonight is useless if you can't imagine there. If you can't imagine it, and you can't begin to see it, it's going to be really next to impossible to get there. We have the ability to create something that doesn't exist. Humans have that ability. Like, that's amazing, right? We can create something that doesn't currently exist. So ask yourself, what does not exist today, and how do I get there? All right. So there are 5 steps in this method of going from here to there. The very first step is vision. All right. First step, vision. So I think often, and I think we're all guilty of this, what we want to do is sit back and we just want to complain about our here. We want to complain about where we are. We're really good at that. And instead, I want you to switch that thinking, and you have to create vision. Where do we want to go? Not where am I currently, and I'm going to sit and complain and cry about it, and I'm going to find me a whole nother group of Plexus ambassadors that we're all in the same boat and we can all get in a group chat and complain together. Does that really benefit you? No, that will never get you to where you want to go. So why do we believe, and I'm saying we because I do it too, why do we believe that our current vision is all there is? Why do we believe that? Did you know the majority of people walking around today have absolutely no vision for their future? Really, genuinely. And I hope that you being in this group, I'm hoping you're not one of those. But I would dare say a lot of you, maybe you were at one time. Maybe at one time before you got into an amazing group of people and an amazing community of people with a drive for their future. Maybe that was you. You just kind of walked around with no vision. You were, going to work, you were going to school, you were raising kids, or you were, being a wife or whatever it was that you were doing, a husband. But you really didn't have a vision for your future. You were just living day in and day out. In a lot of ways, that was my story. I was just treading water in a lot of ways. I didn't really see that there was a way out. I didn't see that I could have vision. We could grow. We could rise above where we currently were. And we all have voices in our heads. We all have belief systems in our heads that limit our vision. And those voices sabotage you. So when you recognize those voices, you can also recognize the fact that they are sabotaging you. They are the reason that you can't get to there because you can't see the vision of where you want to go. I want to tell you, you can be a diamond in the company. Every single person on this call can be a diamond in the company. Like, there's not a limit to it. How do I know that? I'm a diamond. Amber's a diamond, Stephanie, Sunday, they're diamonds on this team. And we're just one of several hundreds of diamonds in the company. All right. So I can assure you that if we can get to diamond, you can as well. Like, I can say that with 100% confidence. So one of the things Dr. Cloud did at this specific, the specific session was he paused and he asked all of us in the room, again, there was only about 30 of us, maybe less than that in the room. He asked us if we all knew who the top earner in the whole company was. Well, it was funny. Celeste, who knows Celeste? If you know Celeste in the company, it was really funny because I was sitting on one side of the room. It was a small room. She was sitting on the other. And I mean, you could just see everybody's head just go, whoop, everybody just knew exactly where to look. And everybody knew, who the top earner in the company was. He had Celeste stand up and he used it as an example of, he challenged us to look at her and to see vision of, like, if she can do that, if she can be a double diamond in the company, we actually all can. And honestly, even I think so many times people believe, or they think that you get to diamond and you just think, whew, I did it. All right, I'm going to set back. I went diamond. And that's just not what you do. It's not. There's, when you become vision driven and you see the bigger picture of what is possible, you also see what God's entrusted you with, and you see that the potential of what that can do for him, for others. And so your vision just continues to grow and grow. But sometimes, looking at someone like Celeste, even me, I'm like, man, ooh, I don't know. Can I do that? And I know it is the truth. I mean, I know it's the truth. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that someone on this call could be the next top earner in Plexus. You know that you can surpass your upline, right? You guys know how our pay system works. You can actually surpass me. You can make more than me. And you could be the top earner in this company. It all comes down to vision. So I want you to think, and maybe even write it down right now or later, but what does your brain do when I say to you, you can be a diamond? What does your brain do? Maybe put it in the chat if you want to. Be honest. Like, we're an honest group here. I want you to tell me, where does your brain, the first thing that you think of, where does your brain go when I say you can be a diamond? Sue was honest. She said, no, you can't. I love that. Billy Joe said, no, I can't. Everybody see those. Listen to how you're sabotaging yourself. You're sabotaging yourself. Listen to it. Not sure how. Beverly, I love that. Walking across the stage. I love that. I love that. It's so far away. Excitement. I love it. But honestly, you have to, if you really can't see it, if you're one of those commenting that you're sitting there going, great, Jana, I really, really don't even care to be diamond. Just tell me how to get to gold. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just want you to know, if you really can't see it, a lot of times, most of the time, it's your limited belief that's holding you back. So can you work on that? Of course you can. You can work on that. Stuck at a rank. Are you stuck at a rank? Are you just, maybe you're just getting started and this does feel so far out of reach for you. It's limiting belief holding you back. And it may even be a lot of you have been with us for a long time. A lot of you have been working at this for a long time. So I was doing a coaching call today, and we were talking about this, how this business can, if we're not careful, it becomes very personal, and lots of personal emotions and feelings are created from us working this business. So when you are thinking about hitting the next rank, or you're thinking about becoming a diamond in Plexus, because I want you to see that big vision. I want you to see the vision of diamond. I want you to think, do I have some unprocessed emotions? Do I have some unprocessed feelings that I need to work through? I need to work through this so I can see that vision, so I can see the bigger picture. And I have this note again in my notes, but I already said it, but one of you really could. You could be the highest income earner in our company. So one of the examples he used is the athlete Roger Bannister. Do you guys know that story? It's an old story, but for years and years, there was the 4-minute barrier for the 4-minute mile. It was just a barrier. Nobody could break it. And it became a total mental game, but nobody at the time realized it was a total mental game. They didn't know it. They just thought it was impossible. They just thought it's just impossible. It's physically impossible for someone to break the 4-minute mile. Well, finally, Roger Bannister defied all the odds and he did it. And since he did it, over the last 50 plus years, more than 1,000 runners have done it. They conquered something that was deemed considerably, like it was considered completely hopeless. No one was going to be able to do it. And now more than 1,000 people have done it. What was one time, nobody could do it. All the experts told everybody, nobody can do it. It's just not physically possible. So what changed there? What changed? The mentality changed, right? The mindset around it changed. The runners of the past, they were being held back by mindset. You would think it would just be, their athleticism, their training, all of that, but it's all starts up here. And I think a lot of us that have worked this for so long, we know that. We know that it starts up here, but we don't sit down and actually process it. We don't address it. We don't work through those negative emotions and feelings. And when I mean work through them, I mean get it out, work through them, and then move on, right? It's not something to sit and just dwell on for, 3 years of what's hold you back. So it has to be something that we process through so that we can then move on and see the vision. So what are your limited beliefs about your business? Put some of those in the comments if you want to. Tell me what are some of your limited beliefs about your business, because we've got to get to work on those. We've got to go and, just go in full force on working on those. Dr. Cloud also talked about the 40% rule in psychology. So I found this so fascinating. Did you know that the 40% rule is when your mind is telling you that you're done? All right. So I want you to be thinking, I'm going to ask you to put some in the comments in just a minute about some examples of when your mind tells you you're done in this business. We've all been there, right? What is it at that point where you're like, I'm either done for today, or I'm done for this month, or maybe like I'm done for this year, or I'm done forever. I ain't never coming back, right? But the truth is, you're actually only 40% done. Psychology shows us that when our mind says to quit, the moment it says to quit, whatever it is we're doing, whatever it is, all right, we've actually only used 40% of our potential. Our brain tells us this to protect us from feeling uncomfortable. Our brain wants us to feel cozy and homey and comfy and in our own little, comfortable shell. And so our brain tells us this to keep us from feeling uncomfortable. But the truth is, you've only reached 40% of your potential. The mind pushes us forward, but it can also hold us back. So what are some examples of when you're done? Maybe it's, like, I don't know anyone else, right? Like we've all been there. I don't know anyone else. I'm not meeting anyone else the rest of my entire life. How many of us have said things like that? I'm probably never going to meet a new person ever again. And so no one will ever join me ever again. No one else is ever going to buy from me. My team won't listen to me. What is it that is gets you to that point where you're like, I'm done. I'm out for today. Maybe it's a negative, like these products stink, and then you talk to them and they've only taken them for 2 days and they didn't take them how you told them. And, you guys all know the drill. So what is it that my team keeps quitting on me, being told no, having multiple people quit. That is hard. That's a hard one, because when they quit, it's so tempting just to be like, I'm done too. I'm out of here. I don't have anyone else to share with. So true. So I think that you have to, when you get to that point now, I know this has been eye-opening for me. Whether I'm working out, I think about this now, no matter what it is, what I'm doing, I keep thinking about this 40% rule. Like, really, Jana, you've only reached 40% of your potential. You can go 60 more percent. So keep on going, right? Because that's when the magic's going to happen for us. Newt Gingrich, I heard one of the other diamonds share this. He has a quote that says, perseverance is the hard work you do after the hard work you've already done. And I love that. Most people are willing to work hard, right? Most people really are. We're willing to put in a lot of hard work, but most people aren't willing to persevere. They're just not. That's when they quit. That's when they throw in the towel. That's when they give up. They say, I've already put in the hard work, and it's hard to argue with that, right? Yeah, you have. You've already put in the hard work. But it's when we actually persevere, when we actually step over that 40% line and we say, I'm persevering through this. I'm going to keep pushing through this. So it's time to get really clear on your vision. You have to be incredibly clear on it. What is it that I really want? Work through whatever it is that you need to work through, that limited belief thinking, those unprocessed feelings and emotions that have happened over the months or years. And then you have to start picturing it. Define your limiting beliefs. Just like you maybe need to work through something, you also need to put your limiting beliefs down on paper. A lot of you already did that tonight here in the chat. You told us what your limiting beliefs are, and you need to label that. You need to put get out a piece of paper and in big letters at the top, my limiting beliefs, and you need to list them, and you need to call them what they are. They are your limiting beliefs that are holding you back and self-sabotaging you. All right. That was number one. I know I said I have 5. Number 1 is the longest. He spent the most time talking about it, and I think for good reason. We have to have vision. All right. So I just want y'all to hang in there with me, because I'm not going to spend that long on talking about the other 4. The next step, once you've got your vision, you know your vision, right? You know you're here, you've defined here, you have your vision, you want to get over here to there, right? The next thing you have to do is engage talent. And I thought this was fascinating when he talked about this. When your brain, when it sees the vision, it immediately engages in the talent it's going to take to get there. I think right now I'm Amber and I are helping to plan this big event for our dad's ministry. And I just keep thinking back to that, probably because we're in the thick of it right now. It's just a few weeks away. When we first started talking about this, the first thing we started doing was engaging talent. What talent do we need to pull this off? What talent do I need? What talent do I possess? And what talents do I not possess that I need to hire in? I need to bring in. My brain immediately begins to engage in the talent that it's going to take to get there. All right. What talent is needed, and who's going to fulfill that role in my business or in my life, whatever it is that you're trying to get from here to there. Who am I going to bring in to help me get there? All right. And sometimes we have to engage talent over and over. You have to constantly be engaging the talent. So there's really, there's 3 groups of people you need in your life. All right. When it comes to engaging the talent. 1, I need people ahead of me to teach me. All right. Am I putting people into my life that's going to pull me up? Am I putting those people into my life? Maybe it's a business coach. Maybe it's a mindset coach. Maybe you need to engage your upline more. You need to go to them. Sometimes we have a stigma around that of like, no, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to do this my own way. If you can develop a healthy relationship with your upline, I'm telling you, they can give you ideas that maybe you've never thought of. They can see things in your business that maybe you've never thought of. It doesn't mean you have to take every idea that they have, but go to someone who's reached the level you want to get to, right? They got there somehow. And I guarantee you it wasn't by accident. They didn't just happen to stumble into diamond. No one stumbles into diamond. So find that and engage that. Maybe some of us need therapy. I say us because, hey, I'm right there with you. Some of us we may need that into our life. We need those, and maybe it may look like a friendship that is solid. It's not a friendship that's going to get you down and just sit and complain with you, but it's going to lift you up. But for a lot of us, we need to engage those people that are ahead of us and is where we want to go. I think of it, as a young mom, I can remember engaging older moms who had been there, who had already been through the days that I was living through. I wanted to know how they did it. What was their, give me your tips and tricks as a mom. And we have to do that in our business as well. So he used the example of Tiger Woods. I'm not a golfer. Any golfers on this call? Do we have any golfers? Oh, yeah, we have a few. Look at some of you golfers. I had no idea. Okay. I'm not a golfer. I literally, I know nothing about golf, but he used the example that in 1997, Tiger Woods won the Masters by 12 strokes. Apparently that's really good. Who knew? Because I didn't. The record was previously set by Jack Nicklaus. I think I'm saying that right, if I remember right, in 1965. All right. So when Tiger did this, it shook the golf world. I mean, I don't know. I don't really remember it because I'm not a golfer, but some of y'all probably remember it. It apparently shook the golf world. It was a huge deal when he did this back in 1997. Do you know, though, what he did right after winning? Does anybody know? Share it in the comments if anybody knows what he did right after he won. I found this. The whole room kind of gasped a little bit when he said this. Do you know the first thing he did after he won that amazing, he practiced more. He probably did do that, but that's not what I was looking for. He fired his coach, his dad. Did you know that? He knew that even though he had just rocked the golf world, he knew he had hit a wall, and he knew he had to find a way to improve. He knew there was things he could do better. So what do you need to do to get to the next level? Who do you need to engage into your life and place into your life to get to the next level? And it literally may just be I am gold and I need to reach out to my Ruby upline. I need to know how they got to Ruby. If you don't find that they're helping you, then keep moving on up. Find a coach, find somebody that can help you get you to help pull you up to the next level. I love the way this was worded. Are you finding the next level of talent to develop your talent? That's what you have to do. So to get where I want to go, I have to get a coach. I'm just using that term loosely. I have to get someone at the level of where I want to go. So who do I need to get in my life to where I want to be? Who do I need to help me get better in the areas I need to get better in? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself when you are finding those people to put in your life. All right, so you need people in your life that's going to be ahead of me, to teach me. And then we need peers. All of us need peers. We need fellow people on this journey, fellow friends, our community of people. Look around. Most of the time, these people right here on this call. We need people modeling how to do this. We need encouraging peers. Let me say that again. I think I already said it earlier on this call, but I want to say it one more time. Get out of the negative groups. Get out of the complacent groups. Get out of them. Just leave them. Just say, okay, I'm gone. I'm going to move on over to some encouraging groups. I'm going to move over to some groups that are like, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to rank up. I'm ready to move forward in this business. You aren't getting anywhere by surrounding yourself with people who aren't getting anywhere. Did y'all hear that? You aren't getting anywhere by surrounding yourself with people who aren't getting anywhere. So when you are looking for your peers in this business, you have to find people that are like-minded, that are ready to move forward. All right. And then the third type of people that you need is I need others that I'm pulling along. This is your team, right? I have to be bringing people on this journey with me. And that's something I feel like we talk about all the time. I'm not going to cover that a lot, but you have to have all three. All right. You need all three kinds of people when we are talking about engaging talent. The third step in this method of getting from here to there, we've got vision, we're engaging talent, and then the third step is, honestly, it's probably one of my favorites, it's strategy. You got to have a strategy. You can't just be out there throwing posts up here and there and just ho-humming it around and thinking, well, I'm going to get to diamond one day, right? I got to have a strategy. All right. So one of the things he taught us was he called it TPAP, TPAP. It stands for time, place, activities, and people. And you need all four of those in this puzzle. When you are putting this business puzzle together, you need all four. And you have to have a plan, guys. You have to have some sort of plan when you are working this business to get from here to there. Talking about this dinner that we're doing. I mean, we have to have strategy. We have to have a plan. We have to know what's going to happen, how we're going to make it happen. There has to be a plan. There has to be a plan when you want to get from senior gold to ruby. You have to have a plan of how you're going to do this. Most people try to do this, though, without the activities in place and without the people in place. And that's the ones I really want to talk about. Again, you can't just shoot in the dark and hope it works. You have to have this plan. So this is probably one of the biggest things he talked about, though, when it came to talking about strategy. I say strategy, and sometimes some of y'all, I can see it in your eyes. You're just glazed over. And I know why. I know why. Because why? There's 1,000 different ways out there, right? Every time you hear there's this jewel doing this and this diamond doing this, and there's this and there's this and this, and they all sound fabulous and they all sound so good. And I want to do all of them. Every diamond that you talk to would probably tell you a little bit different strategy that they use to get to diamond. A lot of them would be similar, but a lot of them would be very different. And a lot of them but every one of them are probably going to have their own unique twist on it. There are 1,000 different ways to win, but you have to know what to say no to. You can't do 1,000 different ways to diamond. You can't, right? You have to know what to say no to. He taught us that the biggest strategy word is no. It's just no. What can I say no to allow me to do the activities I need to get from here to there? Whether that's activities in your life, maybe I can remember the first time I heard this and I wasn't sure what I thought about it because it was years ago. I can remember people being like, if you are at a certain rank in your business and you want to, hire a housekeeper. And you know what? I was like scratching my head of like, why am I scrubbing toilets? Why am I mopping the floors when I could make better use of my time? I'm not saying it's for everybody. That may be like your time. That some women, that is your thing, and you love mopping those floors. And it work, it's like your therapy. And so keep doing it. But what is it that you can say no to allow you to do the activities you need to do to get from here to there? What is it in your business? Maybe you have overwhelmed your team with stuff. Maybe you're just constantly throwing out this idea, this idea, and this idea. Maybe you need to hone down and just say, I'm doing these 3 things and nothing else. And this is going to be my strategy right now. This is my strategy. This is where we're going. So you have to know how to say no, but you do also have to say yes to the right activities. So what activities are you building into your life? What activities are you building into your business? The number one factor, he told us this, the number one factor, and this is like studied, documented, everything, on if a goal is achieved is simply the belief that it can be done. That's the number one factor. So you have to know that before you can understand the number 2 factor. The number 2 factor is the prioritization of the specific activities that move the needle. And notice I didn't say it was the activities that move the needle. It's the prioritization of them. If those activities are not getting the best from you, then you probably have a problem and you don't know how to prioritize them, or you're just not prioritizing them. So I heard another diamond add in this part, and I thought it was so good. Some of you need to recognize that you're a little codependent, and this is going to be hard for you. You're so involved with so many things, whether it's in your business or just in life. And a lot of it's a codependency on those people, on those things. And it's so hard for you to say no to the things that you need to say no to prioritize what you need to be able to say yes to. All right. And I can't define that for you. You're the only one that really can, right? So you have to be able to say no to the things that sometimes even got you to where you are, right? Let me tell you this. How you got to gold is not how you're going to get to ruby. And how you got to ruby is not going to be how you get to emerald. And how you got to emerald is not going to be how you get to diamond. I can almost 99.9% guarantee you it's just not going to be the same process. All right. So you have to do the activities that do get you to the next level and say no to the ones that don't. And sometimes we're so stuck in, well, my team has done this for 3 years and by golly, we are not stopping it, right? It doesn't matter that it's not working. It doesn't matter that you haven't signed up anybody in 4 months and nobody's joining you and your points going backwards. It's just, we're not going to quit. Well, maybe it's time to revisit that. Maybe it's time to think, what do I need to do? What do I need to say no to so I can do what I need to do? You guys know the same. You can't keep doing the same things and expect different results. We've all seen that a million times, and it's so true. So what's keeping you in your comfort zone? Identify it and ditch those, and let's do what's going to take you to the next level. He told us to stop unsustainable fantasies. Stop them. Just stop them. All right. We all have them. And find what works for you and what moves the needle. What is going to do that for you? All right. You do something. You set back. Did it work? If it worked, pour gas on that strategy. Keep it going. Light the flame. Tell your team, we're running with this. If not, we have to change the strategy, and we have to have a clear strategy. And we then also, like I mentioned, prioritize the strategies that will make those goals come to fruition. So that rolls us right next into number 4, which is measurement and accountability. You have to have measurement and accountability. Anytime you want to get from here to there, right? It's going to sure speed up the process if we have some measurement and accountability. And it's going to actually help us reach that final vision, or that vision of where we want to be. You'll never get to where you want to go without it. You're never going to get it without measurement and accountability. You're just really not. You must measure yourself against the activity you need to do to get to the goal. I had to think about that. You must measure yourself against the activity you need to do to get to that goal. Measuring yourself against the goal will only get you so far. All right. It doesn't help for me to say, I want to get to diamond, or, whatever it is. I have to measure myself against the activity I know I need to do to get to diamond. Are you measuring and being accountable to the activities you need to do? Are you? You got to answer that yourself. And then, boy, that's hard sometimes, right? Ooh, this honestly is probably the hardest one for me. Like, I have to step back and really think, am I measuring up? Am I holding myself accountable to do the things I teach you to do? Did you know most people don't want accountability? We don't. Most people don't want it. And I think in this business, we really don't. We're like, this is my business. I am self-employed, and I am just going to run at my own little pace. And that's fine. You can do that. But then if you're telling me, but hey, I really want to rank up, then you need some accountability. All right. If you implement accountability, you honestly would be shocked at your results. We are designed to operate with measurement and accountability. Our brains are designed to operate with it. So what does it mean to the measurement part? It literally means putting a number on it. Time, the number of people I've talked to. Look at your calendar. In the last 4 weeks, how much time did I actually spend on reaching my vision? Like, put it on paper. Every day you work, I want you to make a note of it. And I want to clarify something here. Let's go back. We're talking about vision. I'm not talking about earning an iPad. iPad's great. I'm proud of you guys that want an iPad. I'm so proud of you. But y'all, we have to move past the monthly, I heard somebody call them trinkets. They're not trinkets. They're huge prizes, right? But when it comes to being a diamond or earning the monthly prizes, it feels like a trinket. That may sound harsh, but I'm just being real with you. You have to get past that, and you have to train your team to get past that. That's only going to get you so far. We have to see the big vision, the big picture, not just a Lululemon gift card or an iPad. Again, I'm so proud of you guys that have earned it. Like, it's huge, and it is part of your strategy. It is part of the work that you do to get to the vision. But we have to think to ourselves, and I'm measuring this, how much time did I spend to reach my vision? All right. Your vision is to what? Is it to get out of debt? Is it to send your kids to college? Is it to donate more to charities? Is it to build an orphanage? Is it to, what is it? What is your big vision? How much time did I spend on that in the last month to reach that vision? All right. Measure your activity to your vision. And we talked a long time about vision. You have to ask yourself, do I know where my money in my business is going? Where's the money that's coming in from my business? Where is it going? Do I know where my time is going? And those two things are going to tell you a lot about measurement in your business and where you are in your business. Your brain needs to know how you are doing in relation to the goal. Your brain has to know. So you have to do those measurements. You have to have some accountability. Questions to ask yourself. Am I doing what I said I was going to do? Am I? I know sometimes I can say yes, and sometimes I can say no. Am I getting results that I want? When I'm thinking and I'm measuring my business, am I getting results that I want? You guys, you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. You have to stick to a plan. And your plan will hold you accountable. Actually, the plan should hold you accountable. But you also have to place people in your life, like we talked about up above when we were talking about engaging talent and reaching out to those people who've already been to where we want to be. And your peers would be those other people. You have to place people in your life also that will hold you accountable if you want to reach that next goal. All right. So we're ending this part by talking about having a plan. Your plan should hold you accountable. You should have a plan and it should hold you accountable. But like a lot of us, sometimes we find ourselves recommitting to our plan over and over and over. Monday morning, right? How many times have we all said it? I'm going to start again Monday morning, right? So same plan. I'm just going to start it over Monday morning. All right. So that brings us to point number 5, the last point. And that comes to a point in our business where sometimes we have to step back and we need to fix and adapt. All right. You have to ask yourself, did I do the action? Did I do the plan? And then you have to answer yourself honestly. There's a reason I didn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have yet to work out today. You want to know why? There's a good reason why. I had multiple phone calls today, but did I have time to already work out today? Yes, I did. I was lazy this morning and did not want to get out of my pajamas. I mean, I just have to be completely honest with you. Like, this is my husband's first day back to work since his ruptured appendix. And I was enjoying the house all to myself, all quiet. And I didn't want to get out of my pajamas and go work out. There's a reason why I didn't. And I have to be honest with myself. And I'm going to go face the treadmill after we get off this call, because I have a plan and I want to put my plan into action. I want to do the action to reach. I want to get there, you know what I'm saying? So I want to get there. So I need to put the plan into action. But there's reasons why you aren't doing the action. There's reasons why you're not committing to the plan on a regular basis. There's a reason why you start the plan over every Monday morning. You have to answer that for yourself. You have to decide, what is the reason? What is it? And it does you no good if you lie to yourself. It does you absolutely no good if you lie to yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. Is it fear? Is fear holding you back? Is fear of failure holding you back? What is it? Oops, sorry, my dog's gonna bark. Is it the fact that I did not prioritize? That was my problem this morning. I just didn't prioritize it. It was not high on my priority list. It should have been, but it was not. Is maybe the plan not compatible with my life? That's okay to say that. We've all been there. I mean, I can come up with the greatest plans, guys. If you want a plan, I can spit you out a 20-point plan. The problem is, most of the time, it's not going to be compatible with your life or mine, right? Because it's too overwhelming. It's too much. I can't do it. I can't keep up with it. I'm great at on Monday morning, I'm never having a drop of gluten, sugar, dairy. I'm going to exercise 2 hours a day. I'm going to do all the things. I can do all of those, but if it's not actually compatible with my life, then I'm not going to do the action to get to where I want to go. Is it your mindset? We talked about this already, but is it your limiting beliefs? Is it your mindset that is literally just stopping you from doing the actions you know you need to do to get to where you want to go? You have to fix that first before you can really do anything else. You have to fix that problem. And it's a problem. Winners solve problems. Winners run to problems. Winners are not afraid of problems. We're not afraid of them. Run to them, fix them. You can do it. You're a winner, you're a leader, and you can solve problems. Everyone has problems. He taught us don't be afraid of problems. And if you're in this business and you've not had any problems, trust me, you will. I promise you'll have problems. You will, promise. Run to them, fix them. Welcome them with open arms. Sweet, a problem's running my way. I am going to fix you today. All right, I can fix problems, okay? Everyone has them. It's not problems you should be scared of, it's patterns. When you see a pattern over and over and over again, that's when you should be deathly afraid of it, because something's really wrong, right? Okay. So when you see a pattern in your business, in your life, and it's a pattern for you. It is what either other people know you as, they know you by this particular pattern in your life of whatever it is, or it's in your business and you know it, right? Maybe nobody else knows it, but you know it, right? It's a pattern, and patterns become your identity. Okay. Run to problems, but be afraid of patterns. We have to fix bad patterns in our life. So when it comes to fixing and adapting, sorry, my dogs are barking. Don't know why. I guess they like that section a lot. They need to fix and adapt themselves sometimes. So that is honestly, to conclude this, let me conclude this. Let me wrap this up. He concluded this by telling us basically like newsflash. You do not have all 5 of these strengths. If you say you do, you're wrong. You're probably really wrong. None of us do. There's certain areas that all of us are going to be better at. All right. I'm good at fixing and adapting. I really am. It's something I've learned in this business. And if you've worked with me at all, you know, I am one of those that I'm like, hey, if it's working, keep on going. But if it's not, we gotta step back and we gotta adapt. We gotta shift our thinking. We gotta figure this out. Fixing and adapting is not an issue, but there are some others. Measurement and accountability is a harder one for me. So none of us have all 5 of these strengths. Identify what is missing. Look back through this, listen through this again. I know it was a lot of information, but figure out what it is, because literally, this is how you get from here to there. I just gave you the key. I gave you the secret how to get from here to there in any area of your life. He did end this session by talking to us about personal growth. I'm a huge, huge believer in personal growth. My family will attest to this. I live my life listening to audiobooks and podcasts. It is so important to me. I want to constantly be personally growing. If you're not reading, you're not listening, if you're not learning from someone ahead of you of how you can expect to grow your business, then you're stunting your growth. You need a personal growth plan. So what books do you have lined up to read? What podcasts do you already know that you listen to daily or weekly? I will tell you this, Dr. Cloud gave us a few different books and I wanted to show them to you. And so this is the one I've started. This is the one I'm about through. This is his brand new book. It is, I'm not even totally sure if it's out yet. This was like a pre-release copy that he gave to us. It says coming in March, so it's probably out. It is fantastic. So good. But I just want to give y'all some good reading. I love anything John Maxwell. Listen to a lot of audiobooks from John Maxwell. Boundaries for Leaders, though. Well, I just say John Maxwell, and then Dr. Cloud is probably I don't know, he might be my next favorite. Boundaries for Leaders is the other book he gave us. He gave us his book, Integrity, and he gave us Changes That Heal. I think this is going to be my next one that I read. I've heard really good things about this one. So wanted to give y'all maybe some new options. Just look up really any of his books. I just don't think you can go wrong with his books. They're fantastic. I could have listened to him for several days. Honestly, it felt like a fire hydrant sitting in that room. And then to go into what I've went through the last month, I'm finally now just really starting to process a lot of the things that he taught us. So I'm excited to maybe bring some more of that to you. But every one of you has the ability to get from where you are right now to where you want to be. You do. You have the ability to do it. This is your method. This is your plan. And yeah, that's all I've got for that. So I kept y'all I tried to keep it an hour, and we're just like right at an hour. So I'm really, really proud of that, because that was a lot of information. So Amber, I know we got to give away prizes and all.
Yes, that was so good. I took like 7 pages of notes. And I want to go back and listen to it again, because about halfway through I remembered I needed to write down everybody's names for the drawing. And so I missed a little portion in there so if I looked like I was over here doing arts and crafts, I was, because I was getting names for the drawing. But Jana, thank you so much for this. I'll try to get the recording posted here yet tonight. Because I know we've got some people that like to listen to them first thing Tuesday morning. They let me know that they like to listen to them first thing Tuesday morning. If that call's not posted. Okay, so we had some incredible points turned in this week. Guys, I want to encourage you, please post your trackers, even if they're not the highest number that you see there. It really does help with something Jana was talking about. I feel like that accountability. I'm going to try to be better with it. I haven't been being very good with my tracker, so I'm going to be better with it. I'm going to post it, even if I see I'm not the highest earner. I still want to post it to have that accountability, and it helps your team see, okay, Beverly's not the top earner, but she's doing some stuff, and David's got some points down on his tracker. I can get some points down this week too. So let's lead by example, like she was talking about, and have that accountability. So this week in third place, we have Miss Vanessa at 1,080 points. Way to go, friend. That's incredible. In second place, we have Lynn Scarborough with 2,655 points. Good gracious, that's a lot of points. And in first place, we have Amber Kidd, 2,820 points. Amber Kidd, I gotta say, you're doing the name proud. Amber Heard kind of hurt us a little bit. She kind of set the name back a little bit, but Amber Kidd, you're bumping it back up there. I'm proud of you for that. But we're gonna be sending out $25 prizes to you guys, to Amber, and then let's do the drawing. This is everybody that's on the call. Encourage your people to get on the call. Anybody can win. Anybody can win. And the winner is Linda Brown. Hey, Linda. Send me your Venmo info, please. Your Venmo info, Linda and Amber Kidd. Way to go, everyone. Have a wonderful night. I'll get the recording posted. Let's go ahead and close out in prayer and pray for our country as well. Dear Lord God, we do come to you today. We pray over Nashville. We pray over that school, Lord, and we pray over the families that are going through so much tonight, Lord. God, it's hard to even fathom. Lord, I just pray that you will just wrap your loving arms around them. Lord, that you will bring the peace that passes all understanding, the peace that only you can bring. Lord, I just pray for the other kiddos that saw those horrific things today. And Lord, we just pray for peace, peace, peace for them as well. The peace that no one understands, like only you can bring. Lord Jesus, we thank you for Plexus. We thank you for the gift that it is. Lord, we thank you for everything that we've learned tonight. A lot of it's really kind of rooted in your word, Lord, making some changes in our lives. And Lord, we just pray that you'll help us do that. God, we thank you for Jana. We thank you that Steve is feeling better. And Lord, just thank you for her willingness to pour into us tonight. God, we love you. We pray all these precious things in your name. Amen. Good night, everybody. Jana, go get those dogs to fix and adapt, okay?
They need to.
I'm shocked. My dogs didn't make both my dogs are in here. They didn't make a sound the whole time. I'm shocked.
Well,